Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. It's Bethany Nonami, and I am super excited to get started. And I promised to start at 1 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. It's Bethany Nonami, and I am super excited to get started. And I promised to start at 1 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. It's Bethany Nonami. Let me mute. Okay. Well, technically it's still 1 o'clock, so we're still going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and you should be able to see my screen and you should be able to see me. And we are going to talk about how to level up your sales game. Super excited that you took the time to come today. Quick thing, housekeeping. This is live. It's not Memorex. So if you're having trouble seeing or hearing me, please type it in the chat and my team will work as quickly as possible to get it resolved. And this will be here forever. It's the internet, so you can find it later if you need to. I am going to just make sure that if I look up, I promise I'm not multitasking. I promise I am here. I'm just making sure that I can see everyone in the chat and I can see your comments. So I am going to get started. The single most valuable asset that you have in business are sales. And many of us go into business for our own personal reasons, and we may have dreamed of accomplishing different things when we started our business. But in working with hundreds of business owners in their marketing, I've realized that many of them wanted very similar things: choices, freedom, security, control, and ultimately a peace of mind. But the bottom line is if you have sales, you have money. And money is a powerful tool that will empower you to have access to all of these things. But many of us struggle when it comes to sales. Where should we focus our time, our money, our energy? Do we have to do all the things just to make a sale? And what do we need to change today in order to generate new leads and consistent sales? And last but not least, but often the most frustrating challenge of them all, is what to do to stop feeling like you're running on this never ending treadmill, caught in a vicious cycle. I need more clients, but I need to service my clients and I need to get more clients. So, what do I do when this cycle just starts the process over and over again? Well, if any of that sounds true to you or familiar, then you're in the right place. In fact, if you are struggling with any of what I just talked about, then I can totally relate. I know exactly what it feels like because in working with hundreds of different companies, they've all struggled with those very same things. So I get it and I can help. And believe it or not, it's easier than you might think. Here's what we're going to cover today. Understand why most businesses don't generate consistent revenue and how you can avoid making those same mistakes. Where to focus your time so you can consistently grow your business. And why pay attention to me? Simple. I can be your secret weapon. I help businesses dramatically improve their bottom line and win against Goliaths. I've been in sales and technology for over 30 years, helping businesses break sales records consistently and predictably. And what I'm going to share with you are insider secrets of how to break through and have sales growth that is massive beyond what you ever imagined. And I love what I do so much. I even wrote a book about it. And when I talk in media, I always try to make sure that you understand the value and get as much value as possible from this. So, why do you think that businesses don't generate sales? Maybe they generate some sales, but why don't they generate enough? You might all be in different platforms. I'm streaming in 3 different places. So I just want to, wherever you are, go ahead and type why you think people don't succeed in sales or meet their goals. No team? Yes. Not enough time? There's never enough time. Not clear on the value, selling to the wrong person. Yep, no time to follow up. Not sure how to reach the right people. These are all great reasons why we can have these sales challenges and these barriers in our business. And they're all valid. But I'm going to talk about how we can address a few of these in generating more sales. For one, many of us are marketing, but we're not selling. And there's a difference. Some of us lack focus. We have great ideas. We're also all over the place. Some of us don't have a clear strategy. Or you could lack consistency and persistence, AKA follow up. Let's dig in and talk about how you can level up your sales game to grow your business. We're going to solve your sales problems today by focusing on one thing, and that is your Dream 100. Has anybody ever heard of the term Dream 100 before? If you have, type 100 in the chat if you've heard of Dream 100. Okay. It's totally fine if you haven't, but I just want to gauge if somebody has heard of it before. Okay, perfect. Dream 100 are a list of companies that just having one or two clients could change the trajectory of your business. Not like this, but like this. So you would not just be doing a happy dance, you would be doing backflips. It's called Dream 100 for a reason. It doesn't matter where you are in your business right now. This is your dream list. So I'm going to ask you to do something. If you're at work and you're surrounded by people, you don't have to do this. If you're driving, please don't do this. But I want to ask you to sit for a moment and close your eyes. If you are surrounded by people or in a coffee shop and you don't want to close your eyes, then just get out a piece of paper or a tablet or whatever you're typing on and type these things down. I want you to close your eyes if you can and focus on who should be your Dream 100. Who? I don't want you to worry about the how. I don't want your brain to try and figure out the steps. I just want you to focus on who. They could have traits that are important to you. They could have core values that align with yours. They could have revenue goals. So for me, my Dream 100 values my time and me and my experience. They also respect my time. They actually call me to give me money and say, how can we do this? How can we do this? Can we get you to do this? Their values align with mine. It's important that the company aligns with my values. I have a revenue minimum that they need to have. I want them to have a small sales team, bright people, but they have to be coachable. They have to be driven. They have to be hungry. So what does that look like for your dream clients? It can be their women, their moms, they're working professionals, they're leaders, they are business owners. They're athletes. There's certain traits that are important that these people have to be your Dream 100. So what are some of those for you? You can write them down, put them on Post-it notes, and we'll get back to this in a little bit. And Dream 100 is not my brilliant original thought. It was actually crafted by Chet Holmes, and he is a true master of sales through and through. And this book is a must read for anyone that is in business. Dream 100 is not only it's only one chapter in this book. Dream 100 is one of 12 strategies in this book. But this one strategy, if you just do this one thing, could have a significant impact on the positive advancement of your business. So I would highly recommend that anyone that is in business or does marketing or does sales for whomever gets this book. There's, I think, back is out of print. There's still a paperback, and it's on Audible. There's not a ton of graphs in it, so if you'd rather listen to it, you totally could. But it's one of those books that you would dog ear, highlight, circle, exclamation, and mark it completely up. And I don't do that to books, but for this one, I do. And I read it about once or twice a year because I always learn something new. There's always something that I hadn't heard that same way before. So it's incredibly powerful. Now, here comes the fun part. We are going to work on your business. Let's create your Dream 100. So the first step sounds easy, but kind of gets hard. It's easy for us to come up with our Dream 100 customers at first. And I want to challenge you to think bigger. No matter where you are in your business, if you're just starting out, that's fine. You can still create this dream list and work towards this dream list. But maybe you've realized that your Dream 100 doesn't really align with your customers that you have now. And that's fine too. What we want to be aware of is there is no limit, there is no cap. You don't have to know how you're going to reach them. And maybe you're not ready yet. But the goal is you are going to define people that would be game changing for your business. One or two would be game changing. And we're creating a list of 100. So whatever that means for you, do this at a time when you come up with good ideas. So if you're dragging in the morning, don't do this in the morning. Do this at a time where you get your best ideas. Sometimes that's in the morning when people are running. Sometimes that's after you take a shower. Whenever that is, that's the time that I want you to work on this. Do your best to come up with 100. Once you have an exhaustive list, just start with what you have and you'll build on it over time. So if you don't have 100, it's no problem. This is your first time for many of you doing this. Just do your best and add what you can. I want you to prioritize the top 25 companies that you want to start with first. And what we're going to do is we are going to target those first 10 companies first. But I want you to say, okay, here's my Dream 100, but these are the target companies that I want to focus on. If you're a mighty team of one, just start with the first 10. If you have a small sales or marketing team, start with 25. And these are going to be the people that you are going to focus on consistently and persistently until you get a yes. Now, what does that look like? I want you to reach out to them every 2 weeks. So I want you to create a plan. Your Dream 100 plan does not have to be fancy. It can be very simple. The first outreach that we do, we're going to reach out to them the beginning of April, and we're going to send something in the mail. Then 2 weeks later, we're going to call them. Then 2 weeks later, we're going to send them an email. So we sent them something in the mail. We sent them an email. We called them, whatever, that's out of order, every 2 weeks. And I'm going to give you a pro tip. If you want to make selling easier, the best thing you can do is to add value at every touch point. Value that is your best stuff. It's so good that customer said, I totally would have paid for that. The customer doesn't feel like they're being sold to. You don't feel like you're selling, and they feel like you're always coming from a place of service. In my mind, I want to help as many people as possible. And I know most of them are never going to be a client. But if I can help them and they can go further in their business, or they can get the financing that they, or the income that they need to finance their growth, I've done my job. So if you add value at every single touch point, how much value could you add over 3 months? That's what I'm doing with this sales series. I'm taking what I teach my private clients and breaking it up in tiny one-step things. So you can take one step and take action, and it'll change your business. And if someone sees this and they increase their sales in their business and they have peace of mind and they have less stress and life is good, I did my job. So let's go over the dream. I am going to give you a link to a Google Sheet and an Excel spreadsheet for a Dream 100. In the first tab, it's just kind of like demographics. So it's who are my people? Is there a business size, like number, a certain amount of revenue or a number of employees? Who's the decision maker that I need to reach out to? Who's my point person? I could also say, what am I offering them? Maybe there's an intro offer that I say, I do I don't, but if I did executive coaching, then maybe I have everyone start with this 3-hour intro or whatever it is. What offer am I making? And then some of the other questions are really qualification questions. Do they value, for me, can they afford my services? Do they value my expertise? In that value, they've had to experience a certain level of pain. I love working with startups, but startups sometimes it's fun and exciting and new and all these exhilarating things, but sometimes they haven't had enough pain to understand the value of what I deliver. And that's okay. They're not for me. So, who are those people? And are you solving a wake up in the morning problem, keeps them up at night problem? There's Google calls it a toothbrush problem. Or do they think about it more than twice a day? I think about brushing my teeth when I wake up and when I go to bed. My kids like never think about brushing their teeth. Great parenting. But I think about it twice a day. So, am I solving a problem? You've heard this called many different things. Are you selling a vitamin? Are you selling an aspirin? Are you solving a headache problem? Are you solving a non-headache problem? So you get what I mean. Then I want you to use this spreadsheet. If you're just working on your own, use the spreadsheet. It's good enough. If you have a CRM, use your CRM. The goal is we have a list of our Dream 100. We have a contact person, we have their name, their phone number, their title. We know how to reach them. And then we're keeping track that we're touching base with them every 2 weeks. Put a reminder in your calendar. Block time out in your calendar that this is my outreach hour. Every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11 o'clock for 15 minutes, I make calls. I reach out. I focus on my Dream 100 or whatever that time is. But the goal is that you are reaching out consistently every 2 weeks. And if you do it with value, you will see a difference and you will get a yes. I have never seen this fail. No matter the industry, no matter the demographic, no matter the niche, no matter the product, no matter the problem, no matter the solution, it works. And if you're doing this, so I always get the question, and I haven't gotten it yet. How long is it going to take? And my answer is always the same. It depends. I have gotten executives on the phone, decision makers, in one try. I have also spent 6 months before I've gotten somebody to call me back. But you know what happened in those 6 months? I went to go see them, this first sales appointment, and all the stuff that I sent them. So I sent them tchotchkes. I sent them a stress ball. I sent them a little Rubik's Cube. I sent them a magnifier glass. I sent them a little dump truck. Like, I send stuff if I send stuff in the mail because it's fun. We like to get mail. Who gets mail? So everybody hides behind email. Mail is incredibly powerful. Phone calls, incredibly powerful. So those two things are what I do because everybody else is hiding behind email. I don't do a lot of email. I do a lot of email after I speak to someone. That is it. But if you want to start with email, start somewhere. Don't not start because you just want to start with email. But I challenge you to mix it up every single time. So let me show you a quick case study and then we're out of here. This is an example of a client that we have that was helping people that have to advocate for their health. So for 5 years, she was working with people that were chronically ill and caregivers. And healthy people have 99 problems. Unhealthy people have one. They weren't taking the time, they weren't making the effort, and she didn't understand. She tried so hard. She was doing all the things. So much work. Then she was like, okay, they can't do it. I have to go after their caregivers. Now, I don't know about you, but I was adopted when my mom was in her 40s. She got sick when I was in high school. I was a caregiver By the time I got out of high school and graduated, she was on full-time disability. So at 17, I became her caregiver. Now, that wasn't a big deal when I was single, but by the time I had a business and a husband and kids, it was tough. Like to squeeze more into my day, I don't think I could have mentally, emotionally, or physically handled that. So that's not our market. So we focused on our Dream 100 and said, okay, this isn't working. These people don't have the need or see the pain or see the value, or they're not taking the time to do it. So what we've learned were her people were people that were misdiagnosed or just weren't happy with their health. And misdiagnoses is in one of the top 3 reasons that people die in the United States. So it's cancer, heart disease, and being misdiagnosed. That's terrifying. So her people were actually people that were diagnosed with something and they weren't accepting the new normal, that doctors were like, oh, well, this is your new normal. So you got to get used to the shakes, or you got to get used to the uncontrollable whatever it is. Like you got to get used to it. And they don't want to. They're like, no, I want to get my health back. I want to get my life back. Those are her people. So in less than 6 months, she hasn't even launched yet. So she spent 5 years, did not make a dime. And she put up a lot. She's risking a lot. And then getting clear on her Dream 100 and focusing only on those people. She hasn't even launched yet, and she's made $30,000. Now, if you've been in business for years and you're a multi-million-dollar business, you're like, ooh, $30,000. $30,000 in 6 months is major after you spent 5 years making nothing. So we are going to commit today that we are going to have clear laser focus on reaching, selling, and closing only our Dream 100. I'm not saying you turn away all business. I'm just saying you are going to say yes to focusing on consistent, persistent outreach to your Dream 100. And here's the link to the sales page. So I'm going to paste it in the chat. So you all have it, if I can find it. And you will be able to download the Dream 100 spreadsheet. And you can download the Excel spreadsheet, or you can download the Google Sheet. Either way, whichever one you want. And I want you to commit to me that you will go get this book. This is a very important book. So please go get the book. It will change your business. I promise you. It's major. It'll change it forever. Questions. So for those of you that have questions, please post it in the chat. If you have questions after the live, I will not know unless you tag me. So please, as you go through this process, if you have any questions, feel free to post it, but make sure you tag me so I know that you need my attention, because after the live is over, I can't guarantee that I will be available everywhere, but I will try to get to your questions as soon as I can. But make sure that you tag me if you have any questions. So your goal, your challenge, should you accept it, is I want you to go take action. I want you to go create your Dream 100, start it, and commit. So create a Dream 100 plan, and it doesn't have to be much. You just consistently add value and reach out to those who you know you can serve. And if you do that and you are persistent and you keep going till you get a yes, you will get a yes. Thank you so much. Super excited. We are going to be here every Tuesday and sharing growth tips, sales tips, so you can take the strategies that I only share with my private clients and execute them in your business so you can grow. 2022 can be an incredible, massive, amazing year if you take these principles and apply them to your business. So my challenge to you is I want you to take action, whatever that looks like. And on this page, you will have access to the resources. You will have access to the book. You can always post a question. Please tag me, and I will be happy to answer it. Thank you so much for showing up. Take care. Bye-bye.